Hey there everybody, welcome to Art of JMel. I am JMel. Man, I'm having a lot of fun with this Inktober stuff. This illustration is day 3, and I chose to stick with the prompt on this one, which was bait. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory here. In the yonder world, there's many things that can trick or deceive you, so if you're not careful, something might just get you. Such is the case of this unfortunate person. He thought he was following a trail of coins to a trap, but upon further inspection, there was nothing. So he did what any normal person would do and started shoveling gold into his bag. Little did he know that he would be dinner for a hungry bush dragon, or a leaf dragon, or, some kind of dragon with leaves on it. It's not too often you come across dragons in the underworld, especially ones that can blend in with the area. The bush dragon pretty much looks like the surrounding foliage in any forest type area. It tries to time its movements to match wind so that the leaves on its body sound like they're just rustling leaves in the wind. So nobody's gonna know it's there unless they're aware that the creature is in the area or even aware of the creature in general. I really had a hard time pushing past the idea of worms and fish because when I hear bait, I think of fishing. I went fishing a lot as a kid. So after a bunch of thoughts, I somehow came to a dragon and money. I'm pretty sure I streamed the day that I was coming up with this concept, but it's in my Twitch stuff if you ever want to check it out. I'll leave it in a link in the description below if you want to. But I do have some concerns about my Inktober stuff. I think I bit off more than I could chew. I ended up deciding to do Inktober, and then I decided to do a contest, and then I decided to do a character swap, and then I'm doing Twitch, and then I'm doing YouTube. So I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I decided not to do every day of Inktober because it just doesn't fit with what I'm trying to do as an artist, marketing myself to the world just yet. There's a lot of other things that I need to get done, and since the character swap is kind of an obligation since I said I would do it, I kind of have to do that. But I really did want to work on my own brand and my own style and try to get things going for me. So I'm gonna kind of put some of the Inktober stuff on the back burner. I think I chose 12, out of all of the Inktober days, I'm going to be doing 12 of them. So that's not too bad. That gives me a lot of time and no excuses. That's all I care about right now. I did want to talk about my previous process in case anybody's struggling a little bit with Inktober. When I was struggling with what to do, I would first draw the image digitally so I could erase and change and alter however many times I wanted, just to save on paper, just to save on supplies. And then I would get a piece of tracing paper and put it over my iPad screen, and it takes some finagling. I would take a screenshot of my drawing, I would open it up in my photos, and then I would try ever so slightly not to touch the screen too much, or I'd put something under my hands so the screen wouldn't pick up on the fingerprints and the fingers touching the screen and move my image all over the place. But I would just trace it that way. And then I would pretty much carbon copy the image onto my paper, so I would color the back with pencil and trace over it, that sort of thing. And then I would just go to inking and painting over it or whatever. I had a lot of ideas down for what I wanted on my digital. I use Procreate, so on Procreate I had all the color schemes and the grayscale that I wanted, so it really did make it a little more fun, a little more easy, and I got to use all kinds of different methods and trying to figure out how to do this. I didn't think I could use my iPad as a tracing board. It was interesting trying not to get my hand to register on the screen, because every now and then it would try to enlarge the photo or swipe the photo or rotate the photo. It was just doing all kinds of stuff, so it took a while to get it down. At one point I actually would extend my pencil lead way out of my pencil just so I wouldn't have any hand touching the screen at all. I would just be hovering over it. I actually taped my tracing paper to my screen because I would just get really cheap tape that wasn't too tacky because I didn't want to clean like tacky stuff off my screen. But yeah, I would just do that. My screen's fine, everything's fine, nothing got ruined. And it was very interesting to try to figure out. Yeah, here you can see me doing an ink wash. It's pretty much the favorite for me. I can do, like, sometimes I'll use marker or something. I did end up buying some inks because I had a 50% coupon at Michael's. So I bought a luminescent teal color ink, and I ended up going to Hobby Lobby using their 40% off coupon to buy a gold, or no, it was gold plate copper, something like that ink. And I'm having fun messing around with them. It's just that they are pretty quick on drying, so I have to get the timing down and, practice a little more with them. They don't water down as easy as India ink does. They do water down, and they do, you can layer them and everything. It just feels like you don't have as much time as you do with the India ink to mess with it. But I suppose with all materials, it just takes practice. I really enjoy ink washing on these pieces. I think it's really relaxing, even if you don't know what you're doing, because I didn't know what I was doing when I first started doing the ink wash stuff. Like, I barely messed with watercolor or paint or anything, so I didn't know. I even still think looking at these, like the dragon that I'm painting, I feel like it's not what I wanted it to look like. It might look good, but it's not what I wanted. It's complicated. If you've ever seen an artist say that they think their stuff sucks, but you really like what they've done, it's probably because they didn't get the result that they were looking for. It's weird. If I ever said my stuff isn't good or I didn't like what I did, it's not that I'm saying my thing is bad. I'm saying it's not what I wanted it to be. So don't take it in a weird way if somebody says that their stuff sucks but you like it. It doesn't mean that you like things that suck, and it doesn't mean you have a bad sense of taste. It just means that it wasn't their personal preference. No harm done. But another thing, I really didn't like how I drew the person in this one, even though it looks exactly like the digital version person. I just didn't like it. It's something about the way the person looks. Like, I guess I could have avoided this, but I should have used a smaller pen when I did his eyes, because his eyes just look like black dots. So that wasn't my intention. And also, I didn't plan him out at all, so his design is weird to me. It doesn't really fit with what I was trying to do. I really like the dragon. I like how that looked and how it turned out, and I did do an initial drawing that looked way more boring than this one. I liked the way the dragon looked in the first one too, but it wasn't very dynamic. It was just a dragon in the background in a bush, but this way I can bring him out around, so you get an idea of how big he is and how bushy he can look, and how this guy totally didn't see him at all because he kind of blends in. I did have ideas of possibly bringing in some lighting, but I decided to scrap that idea because I didn't want to overcomplicate it, But yeah, it's really fun, it's really relaxing, and you shouldn't stress over Inktober stuff. And if you're trying to do art, you should do art every day. Just do something. Even if you just draw a box or a circle or something, just draw something. Because the goal is to be better than you were yesterday. So if you draw a line today, then tomorrow draw 2 lines. And then the day after, draw 3 lines. And then every day you'll be improving no matter what. And that's the whole idea behind these drawings and getting better with art. It's just a matter of time. It sucks to hear that, because everybody wants a secret. Everybody wants the that thing. What brushes do you use? How do you use those colors? All this stuff, like, especially the brushes question. That doesn't matter, because I've seen great art pulled off with one default Photoshop brush or one default Procreate brush. And I've seen very different people with very different styles pull off very different pieces that look amazing with just one brush. It's all about the practice. It's all about that skill that they built up over time. So don't let stuff get to you. Don't stress about art. Just try to do better than you did yesterday and you will do absolutely fine. Just stick with it and you'll be perfect. But that's pretty much all I got for now. Just finishing up the background trees and everything, and then later on I don't show it, but I added gold to the coins just to highlight them. But I appreciate you watching this video, and if you don't follow me, please follow me. Click the little bell icon so you can get notified. And thank you so much. If you liked, go ahead and like this. And if you didn't, go ahead and leave a comment telling me why. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Commander Ben for being my patron. And I will see you guys next time. You got this. Bye.